If they call you Nazi, or racist or fascist or whatever, call them child molester. Quick announcement, everyone. I'm suspended from Facebook yet again. This time it took only a few days. Well, actually every time it only takes a few days. In the last 6 months I've been suspended for almost all of those days. I just keep getting suspended. And you know, it's because I refuse to be politically correct. And I realize this happens to a lot of you. I'm not special. And if this hasn't happened to you, well, maybe you just have not been reported yet or something like that. Or maybe you just don't say things that are politically incorrect. Anyway, this time I was suspended for calling someone a child molester, and here is the point of the video. As we all know, there are lots of people who will call you a Nazi, racist, fascist, etc. for no valid reason in real life or in social media. Example, last night someone called me a Nazi because I pointed out that Elizabeth Warren has been saying that she is Native American to get votes. This person said, "Why do you think that? What makes you think that?" And my reply is, because she was using that on her last campaign trail. And when you're on the campaign trail, you say things to get votes. So in other words, she's appealing to you racist, politically correct people who will vote for someone because they are brown or red or whatever. You're racist. And that's why she's been saying she's Native American. She's appealing to you racists out there. So that's why this person called me a Nazi, and as you can see, I called them a child molester. If you're not insane or stupid, then you know, and if you're intellectually honest, you will admit that's not a valid reason to call someone a Nazi. Simply pointing out a fact doesn't make one a Nazi. And if you're not agreeing with me right now, you're not honest with yourself, or you're stupid, or insane, or some combination of those three. Now, furthermore, we know that there are these mobs, that is, mobiles, as the term goes in MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, that is, NPCs, in other words, non-player characters, that is, P-zombies, or philosophical zombies. A sort of more intellectual or academic or philosophical term for these NPCs, these mobs, these non-player characters, these thoughtless clones, these conformist collectivists, these sheeple, these robots, these living zombies, these regressive leftists, these SJWs, you know, sociopathic injustice warriors. They go around calling people Nazis and fascists in the same way that mobs in the past went around accusing people of being heretics to get them killed, or infidels to get them killed, and so they can rape them, or calling them witches in order to purge them from society, or in a lot of cases just, you know, to get the satisfaction of doing evil things to people. Later in history, it was accusing brown and black men of being rapists in order to lynch them. During World War II, it was accusing Japanese Americans of being spies so that you could illegally put them in concentration camps in America. In Nazi Germany, of course, people were accused of being Jewish or gay or gypsies, etc. in order to put them in concentration camps. In the McCarthy era, during the Red Scare, it was commies. Everybody was called commies to get them fired. At least then it wasn't to get them killed anymore, but, you know, to get them jailed or fired or whatever. In the 1980s, it was Satanism, you know, the satanic panic, in order to get records off the shelves or to get people fired, or just to have an excuse to say that you were, you know, the victim of some widespread underground satanic cult in your hometown. A lot of people were saying that during the 80s. It's insane. We could look back and see it's fucking insane. It's not any different than what's going on today. It's so fucking obvious to those of us who can think. In other words, people who are real human beings and not MOBs, NPCs, you know what I mean? Of course, a lot of people have been lynched after being accused of being gay. These days, it's MOBs, mobs of NPCs, SJWs, calling people fascists, Nazis, etc. Thankfully, it doesn't result in lynching people to death these days, at least not yet. But you know, with high-profile politicians and actors and etc., people like Maxine Waters, Hillary Clinton, you have Alec Baldwin the other day saying something like be incivil or, you know, get ready for a revolution, some crap like that. Basically calling for violence. These people are basically calling for violence. Either implicitly or a little bit more explicitly. And who knows how long it will be before people actually start getting killed after being accused of being fascist or for wearing a Trump hat or some other hat that looks like a Trump hat. So teach these clones a lesson, these mobs, these non-player characters, these SJWs. When they call you a Nazi or a fascist, because they have no valid reason to do so, just call them child molesters or rapists or something like that. And if they don't actually get it right away, and that's almost always the case, say, I have just as much reason to call you that as you have to call me a Nazi, fascist, racist, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes they actually do get it at that point. Not that they go, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm bad and I shouldn't do that, but they just get mad because they get it. Other times it goes right over their head because they don't actually fucking think. So that's what I suggest to you people when you are encountered with these mobs of NPCs, these sociopathic injustice warriors who invalidly accuse you of being racist, Nazi, fascist, etc. Just turn around and do the same thing to them. Just come up with something for which you have no valid reason and call them that and see what happens. You can see here that I requested a review. I wrote, I am a Muslim. Why are you discriminating against me? Please stop being Islamophobic. I did nothing wrong. That was last night. They didn't like that, but they allowed me to request another review for some strange reason. So this time I tried, I identify as a transgender and gay Muslim. Please stop discriminating against me. And you know, if you folks know why I'm doing that. We all know why I'm doing that, okay? We know that they have a certain bias in favor of certain people, so we all know why I'm doing that. And if right now, if you're really upset and you go, oh, that's a lie, that's not true, they don't have a bias in favor of Muslims and regressive leftists and SJWs like that. Bullshit. You know that's bullshit, and you're upset because you know that's bullshit. You know that they do have that bias. Besides, I've demonstrated that fact multiple times in my videos. So go fuck yourself. Okay? By the way, if you're mad at the terms NPC and stuff like that, if you say, well, that's dehumanizing people, you are an NPC. Okay? Let me explain this to you. And if you have to have this explained to you, you're an idiot. If you're saying that it's wrong to dehumanize people by using terms like NPC, then you're not thinking things through. How long has the regressive left been calling a lot of people Russian bots? In other words, saying they're not human beings. In other words, dehumanizing. How long has that been going on now? So if you actually thought these things through, you would go, oh, I get it. The reason why they're referring to us as NPCs is because we've been doing the same thing to them for the last 2 years or so, just using a different term, Russian bot. But you don't think like that, do you? Because you don't really have self-reflection, because you're not really a thinking human being. You're an NPC. Stupid. Notice that a lot of these people who are calling other people Russian bots are coming across like bots. In other words, the people they're accusing display human characteristics, wit, nuance, whereas they just come across like an imitation of an angry human being. Just grr grr, I am bad, grr grr, you are Nazi, grr grr, Russian bot, grr grr, conservatard, grr grr, fuck Trump, grr grr, and that's it. So it's pretty ironic.
Okay, Dustin29 here, Boston Antifa. I'd like everyone to repeat after me. NPC mean go away. We are human here to stay. NPC mean go away. We are human here to stay. NPC mean go away. We are human here to stay. Shame, 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 shame.
Make sure that you use alternate social media, folks. You know, the ones that don't freaking censor or have a regressive left bias or illegally data mine your information and sell it to China or whatever. See the links below. There's Minds, there's Gab, there's MeWe, there's Steemit, etc. And if you friend me there or follow me or whatever, I'll do the same back to you. Also make sure that you subscribe to me on BitChute, because just like with Facebook and Twitter, you can expect my YouTube channel to get suspended, shut down, or whatever. So get a lifeboat, because sooner or later, Facebook and Twitter will just be unbearable. Or you'll just get kicked off permanently. I mean, I expect that to happen to me pretty much, you know, any day now. I expect to permanently be kicked off of Facebook. And that's fine with me. I refuse to give in. Well, everyone, what do you think about this? Leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching.